Okay, so today I just want to talk a little bit about my snacks here are looking good. Um, and what I want to do come summer. Hopefully, I could add a couple more games, whether it's a Atari game or a Super Nintendo or Nintendo. Focusing on those right now. But I also have Sony too, and I have Xbox on the side. And those are the games, main ones I have. And I do have a Sega, but it's Sega Mega Drive. And for VHS, if I do come back into it, it's going to be something from thrifting for a few bucks here and there. And it's either going to be a Disney movie or a Western, maybe a comedy might come in. Um, but I'm hoping the end of the month, if I need to, I'll know if I have a little bit saved, I'll get something nice for the collection, like a figure. Maybe I'll get a figure at the end of the summer. Maybe I kind of like the DC figure line, so I'm gonna have a few on the other side, and hopefully next year I can pick up a little bit more wrestling. I don't know if I could do that all right away, but either end of the summer or next year, end of the winter, I'll probably get at least one more DC figure, like Hulk or Superman. Superman I picked up, so um, Wolverine maybe. Comic books, I really like those figures. And then next year, maybe one or two wrestling figures, probably from the new line. I'm not going into the old line because the old line, L&J for wrestling, is too expensive and it's very worn. So you gotta be really careful. What they do as well, they give you a good one and then they pair it up with a bad one. So if you're buying it in bulk, just remember they pair them up good and bad condition together sometimes. I've seen that with L&J. So that kind of stopped me. Plus, they're over 50 bucks, so plus shipping, whatever. And they're like $20, $30 toys, but with shipping, they're becoming like $70, $80 figures. So I probably won't get to them, but I would love to get at least one or two of those L&J figures. Um, so like a good character like Hulk Hogan, Undertaker. They don't have Undertaker, unfortunately. I look for the Undertaker from a different line. I might get him for Hasbro, um, and some maybe Macho Man, a couple other characters, and then I'll go into another toy line. So that's how things will go. I do want to maybe get something for Doctor Who next year. Maybe the police box would be nice. A couple doctors. Um, Maybe a couple Ninja Turtles. We'll see how things go with that. Slowly I'll start putting up little figures on display in the room. And once in a while I'll come into a CD or I'll come into a game. Go thrifting once over the summer, maybe go thrifting once, maybe to the flea market near the end of the summer. I'm hoping to go at least once. Um, See if I can pick up something there. Again, as long as my snacks hold up and I have savings, I could buy some chips at the end of the month. If I have something saved, I'll put it towards a toy. Something because toys are more on the shipping, so I need to have a little bit set aside for that. Not just my basic spending on media. I'm not gonna be on movies all the time anyway anymore. But if I go thrifting, I'll keep eye out for old VHS. Might find one or two. And main thing was slowing down. I have the other rooms started now. Overflow for all the CDs there, movies. And if I get a little something at the end of the month, I'll save it. And if I get enough snacks, I don't need to have excess of snacks, but just enough to get me through the week and month. If I need some chips, I can go into my savings, take out 10 bucks and buy a bag of chips. So that's why I slowed down from what I had last year, buying up all the old horror movies, all the old blockbuster titles. I already gone through like 2 or 3 movie lists, written down the main movies I wanted from the horror genre, from the old movies. Never got to every single one, but the ones I really wanted, those are the ones I picked up. And I tried to pick up the original cover. If I cannot, then go for the second best. Fortunately, with DVD, mostly people are going into Blu-ray, and the new releases, Slap Syndrome, Severance, and they don't care about the DVD anymore. They don't care about Blockbuster anymore. They want those kind of franchise in their collection. And for me, it was about Blockbuster and VHS. And fortunate, I started collecting on VHS kind of late. And I did not find a whole lot of horror, so most of the horror I did find is on DVD. But there's a few VHS horrors scattered throughout. Most of it's comedy, western, some music as well on VHS. If I can find somewhere music, I'll definitely pick up something on VHS. But I gotta watch out for price markup if I go thrifting, depending on the summer and the heat. Um, this room, it's just to get me by. If I don't have the internet for 1 month, 2 months, it'll get me by. Um, TV shows I have, I'm going to add more TV shows. Eventually, I'll come back into TV shows. Then I'll come into my games. I'll come back into my games, depending where I find a deal. So, that's why I don't just collect one thing. Sometimes I'm looking at that certain horror movie and it's like $100, so I'm not going to spend that $100 right away. I might go and buy a $40 game or something, or something for my $20 for CDs, music, also gone up. So some Dolly Parton albums are very expensive and hard to find. They're getting up there, $50, $60, $70, $80. Um, Depending on shipping, some people put $20, $30 on shipping. So I could do that, but I'm not a seller. I'm just a collector. So I cannot take certain movies and sell them off on eBay for profit. I don't understand that industry. I just like having movies, seeing them, replacing the ones that are damaged. That's why I want the shelving, and we go from there. So that was a reason of slowing down as well. Make sure I have my snacks at the end of the month, and if I need to save up for something nicer, like a more expensive figure, I'll do that. Might take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, but the money is going to be saved. Then by the end of the summer, I'll have that figure. Or if I'm hunting down something a little bit more expensive, like the Star Wars ship, would be nice to have down the line. Star Wars Walker, those two would be my gem. I've been thinking about what could be my toy gem. Those two. Atari is my kind of gem gaming system. So whenever I come back into Atari, get a good condition cartridge, I'll do that. I don't hunt down the boxes because they're overpriced. So the cartridge is enough. Sometimes it might be a newer cartridge or a reproduction, but the game is there. I can hold the game in my hand. Sure, you can download your games, you can download your music, and you don't need to have all this stuff, but again, you're relying on the internet, and downloading is illegal, or they don't care anymore about it, but that's not the way to support your band, that's not the way to support the movie industry. Best way is go out, hunt down a good deal on a movie and buy it. That's the best way. But sometimes you gotta hunt down a movie online, buy it online. Buying it online, fine, but that's not the right way to do it. You don't own it because you bought it. You cannot own nothing. How are you going to own nothing? Just something you can watch, visually watch. You cannot physically hold the item in your hand. But that's what they're doing. Going on Amazon, buy it, whatever, and they call it, you own it, you bought it. You bought what? You bought air. You bought nothing. It's piracy. You bought nothing. Just a cheap way around getting the stuff you want. So that's why I enjoy collecting old media. But fortunately, with the new stuff, everybody wants the new stuff. They don't want the old stuff anymore. But the new stuff to me is shit. All the same old shit comes out. So might be one or two good titles in there, and to me, the old movies were it for me. So I stick with the blockbuster titles, and that's what I love. And the VHS in my collection represents the mom and pop video stores. Although I don't remember my blockbuster ever having a VHS, it was the smaller video stores. But again, you don't have space, so you can buy the stuff, download it, watch it, and then whatever you do with it. But that's not the right way. The right way is buying it. But you do fill up your room quickly, and stuff gets expensive. So horror titles are always expensive. Games are getting expensive. So better games. So things are gonna always cost more money. That's why I like balancing things out. You're never ever gonna have everything because things are too expensive. So you gotta get what you can. Sometimes I might come into a new movie, but at least the movie is going to be there if I ever want to watch it. So sometimes it's come in here, walk around for a half hour, moving around, stretch my legs. That's why I enjoy having this room for media. But I do want to set up some toys and go from there over the next couple of years, add a little figure here and there. And even though I'm going to be on a small budget, I'll add one thing every couple of months. And that's how things will go. Because things are getting more expensive, you gotta really pick and choose what you want, make sure, do I need to pay that 50 bucks on a $20 toy? You gotta pick and choose more carefully. Unless you're that person that likes buying in bulk, oh, I'm gonna fill up all my shelving, I bought 400 movies, I got 400 movies, unless you're that kind of person, you'll fill up your shit quickly, and you'll never know half the stuff you have. So buy something you really like, even if you have one shelf, it doesn't really matter. It's a collection where you have one shelf, we have 20 shelves. For me, I'm happy to have this room for movies. Maybe if I move from here, all this might go in the garbage, nobody's going to care, and it's all old stuff. Because when you move, you're not going to have space, so you might have to deal with downloads. So you have to start buying stuff or watching it on YouTube or whatever, buy the movie and watch it. But as long as I have the space, I'll be able to add one movie every once in a while, and the old media will live in this room. Because I don't know too many people collect old media in Canada anyway. A few people in the US still might be after movies, but they're after the new movies, Blu-rays and all that stuff. They're not after the old DVD anymore. So DVD is kind of dead and gone. And so sometimes you can find something good. It's very hard picking now for movies. So that's why I have games, I have music, start a little bit of toys, and I have something every few months here and there where I feel I could get a good deal on something. And that's how it's going to grow, live it at a time. Thanks for watching. So this snack shelf here, is just kind of set up for adding some snacks, crackers, cookies, and stuff like that, chips. If I had a little mini fridge, I could put a little mini fridge here, so if I come across one, it'd be nice to have. Keep cold drinks or something, but, and this is a snack shelf right now. Later on, if I need to, I could put snacks here, and fill that up more of the movies. Thanks for watching my little snack shelf and why I collect old media. Kind of rambled on a little bit more, but it's okay. It's a little introduction to why I collect old media. Thanks for watching. But I wanted to talk more about my snacks today, but kind of turn out into why I collect old media. Thanks for watching.